Joe. L. O. To the B. To the E. Show love. If you don't show love, then you get no love. And when you don't show love, then you get no love. Now you wanna show love, 'cause I get mad love. Mad love. Mad love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again on another episode of Talk with Gina. You know, this show is all about wellness, learn, uplift, and inspire. And I do my very, very best to bring some fantastic guests to all of you. You know, so many times I've been asked, Gina, what do you use on your skin? Gina, what do you use in your household? Gina, what do you use for detergent? And, you know, while I will tell people individually, folks who would DM me, or for those who have my number, I wasn't really putting it out there, not for any reason. And then when I thought about doing this show, I said, you know what? That's one of the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best to highlight the businesses that I support wholeheartedly, that I believe in, that they are free of toxins. You know, I've been toxin free in my household for a very, very long time. And when I come across a brand, it is my absolute pleasure to support. Now, without further ado, I'm telling you, I'm bringing on this fantastic couple, because, you know, sometimes, you know, folks have a business and they're doing it by themselves, and, you know, they'll have some support. But right now, this, let me tell you something, this couple is fantastic. All right. And I'm going to bring them on. So hang tight, because right now, come on, welcome Sylvia Augustine Emuwa.
Yeah, that pronunciation was fire.
Thank you so very much for joining me. I mean, this is almost like a dream for me. And I'm not saying that just to say that. You know, it's one thing when we support brands, and I know there have been brands over the years that I've supported. And I mean, how many times have I had an opportunity to actually speak to the founder? You know what I'm saying? It's just really about me spending my money. And here you are. You know, thank you so much for joining me and joining the my audience, our audience for today.
Hey, no, thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm humbled.
Oh, thank you. So, you know, the show is about wellness, as you already know. And a lot of folks don't know that there is actually a journey that's attached to the business. You know, so I want us to start with that journey, you know, for folks who could be inspired and just understand that nobody just woke up on Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning and then Tuesday at 3 p.m. You know, this is what's happening. So Sylvia, you know, tell us, where you from? You know, what were you doing before?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, so I am from Mississippi. I'm from Greenville, Mississippi. Yes, I know.
No, I say that. Last year. No, I was there last year. That's why.
Amazing.
You were in Greenville, Mississippi?
I was in Greenville. Look at that, Sylvia.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was there for the Blues Fest.
Okay.
Yeah, Obie Buchanan was the headliner from Clarksdale. So my family and I, we drove to Greensville and we enjoyed the show. See that?
Wonderful. I hope you get some hot tamales and some hot smoked sausages and stuff. But anyway, we'll talk after the show. But so I'm from Greenville, Mississippi. What I was doing before co-founding Dinobi Detergent, I was an accountant by trade. Went to the Jackson State University, HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. That's where I met my husband, or my now husband.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I will start off by saying the journey doesn't really stop, it evolves. There's really no end per se. It's just kind of several cycles, a series of cycles.
Okay.
We started out doing a detergent. It started with a detergent just because, like yourself and many others, we were just kind of tired of getting the same old, and getting irritated. We started having children, and we noticed that the things that we were dealing with, we didn't have to necessarily deal with, because that's just how you were raised. You just kind of like deal with what you got. You make what you got work. And what I was finding is that more and more people were popping up with allergies and inflammation, from contact dermatitis and things that I hadn't really ever had to deal with, or I didn't know I was dealing with at the time. So I was cloth diapering, much to Augie's chagrin. And he was like, I don't like these diapers, but
hold on, what word did you use?
What
word did you say?
Chagrin.
What is that?
Chagrin.
I told you that they're dynamic. They're so funny.
No, I'm sorry, and I feel bad.
Is a word.
Okay.
You didn't agree with me.
Okay.
You didn't agree.
Okay.
But you realized that it worked itself out.
For sure.
But our daughter's legs were irritated very badly, to the point where I had to stop using regular diapers and stop using the regular stuff. He was extremely irritated from the major brand detergents that we were using that are now banned in New York, which I know we'll probably get to that later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, and he was having severe reactions. So I said, there's got to be a way to do it where it's earth friendly but effective, because there was nothing earth friendly and effective at the time on the market. For sure. So we decided to seek out an organic chemist. We found our organic chemist by way of another Black-owned business brand called Beneath Your Mask. Her stuff is amazing. Her name is Dana Jackson. She's awesome.
Shout out.
For much of the same journey. She has skin products for sensitive skin. And so we found our organic chemist, and they were able to help us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Augie, may I call you Augie?
Please do.
Oh, okay.
Please do. Because when people see the name, it's like it's Augustine or Augustine in Igbo culture, which I'm that's my native heritage. It's Augustine. In Chicago, it's Augustine. So I'm like, look, we can just erase Augie. That's what my mom calls me. She's from Memphis. Augie,
your mom's from Memphis. Okay. Okay. We have some Southerners here.
Yeah.
and Africa. I love it. I love it. So what were you doing, Augie, before the creation of Dinobi?
Itching.
That's real. No, that's real.
So I was first of all itching for an opportunity to do what we're doing symbolically, but literally I was itching because I was a what you call a turnaround school principal. So I would go into schools. I was always attracted to schools with young people that were in underserved communities, and we go in and we really try to put some efforts in to make some changes. So I was an educator basically, and just tough times, crazy times, and of course, with lifestyle issues that you have when you're going through that kind of stress, what happens? Things start to flare up that you don't take care of, right? So we saw a deterioration in my skin. We saw my eczema flaring up. I'm trying to host a meeting with my teachers, and they're like, dude, I see you sneaking to the corner of that wall so that you can scratch your back. What's really happening? And I wasn't going to take care of it. So my very responsible and amazing wife just decided to start looking on the back of bottles to try to figure out what was happening with her husband's skin, with my kid's skin. Why do we have 6-7 different bottles of detergent in our laundry room? Why is that even the case? And then always tell people the truth of it. I just start seeing money come out the account. And I'm like, well, what is happening in this bank account that is going to XY chemist to start to help collaborate on this product?
Right.
What's happening? And it was my wife laundering cash out of our account to develop what is now our legacy, which is Dinobi. Dinobi is an Igbo word that means precious.
Precious. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I feel precious when I use it. I'll tell you guys are a hoot. I love it. You know, we had to make, for those of you who don't know, we had to make it work. And I was not interested in doing a pre-recording. And I shared that with Sylvia. I was like, no, we're going to make it work. What's your schedule? You know, and this is what it is. You know, I've never done a double header in the week. But hey, there's a first time for everything. You know what I'm saying? And look how fabulous this is. Yay. So, I mean, there are quite a few folks who have who are sending in some comments, and it's just really about, hi, how's everybody doing? Everyone is looking great. Watching the show. I mean, listen, you know, they're watching.
Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you.
They're watching. So, okay, so we created Dinobi. You were itching. I totally get it. You know, back in the day, well, years and years ago, my daughter is big now, but the dermatologist told me, oh, use all free. And so I was all in. Like I did, you know, it wasn't just about her. And I know you shaking your head, you know, it wasn't just about the fact that she had the issue. I made it the whole household's issue, you know? So I stopped the bleach. I stopped the fabric softener. You know, I really wasn't that astute about the dietary. You know what I mean? So with the exception of knowing about ketchup, and she was just like, I couldn't get her to stop with the ketchup. You know what I mean? Kids, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard to have discipline. You know, I mean, sorry, it's hard for the children to be disciplined, you know, in terms of removing things from their diets. And you know that they're going to be flare-ups, you know. So I did know about the dairy, and I did know about the tomatoes, the ketchup, but I couldn't get her to stop. You know what I mean? It was so hard.
Yeah. Ketchup is like a food group.
So we're parents of 4, and one of our children, our 6th grader, I mean, it's nothing for me to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and catch her making a fresh ketchup sandwich.
Not at 3 in the morning.
At 3 in the morning.
At 3 in the morning.
I caught this girl at 3 in the morning, nose dived into a ketchup. Ketchup is really, really hard.
I'm just finding this out online.
So we got to figure out ketchup that makes sense.
But it's hard. It's hard because they're kids, and you know, and they want it. So I get it. So okay. So now you found the chemist, and isn't that something like someone else was using, so you were able to do that? Because I was definitely going to ask you, how did you go from making it for yourself and maybe sharing it with some friends and family to now scaling, you know, where you're like, hey, I'm going to take this. So you had the chemist. Now, both of you were still working full-time jobs, correct? When you started. So at what point did you realize that you could take this to a point where you don't have to work anymore for someone else and you're working for yourself? How easy was that? Because I know that insurance, you know, when you're working, you have the insurance. And so, you know, like a lot of times that's a big thing. You know, man, you may want to leave, right? Yeah. You might want to leave your job, but the insurance piece of it, somebody still hangs on. So just help us out with, you know, talk to us about that.
Okay, so I'm going to start out and let you know that we are probably slightly off in the head, only because both of us. So we were both employed by a third party at first. Then we transitioned into him being self-employed with his education consulting firm before Dinobi started to kick off. Then COVID came. I was still working full time and working on the business, and he was still doing education consulting. So he was self-employed. We were using my insurance from the job. See, August, right? And then COVID hit, and I was extremely stressed out. We had a lot going on, as everybody did.
Yeah.
And I just had it at that point. I actually don't think we had like a real plan to say, you know what, we're going to dive in. Now, we did wait until, okay, we got like our first big order or a nice order or a nice amount of orders to say, okay, this justifies at least me leaving, and we can figure out the insurance using, you know, healthcare.gov or whatever, which a lot of people use, which is still expensive. But we really did take a leap of faith. I don't necessarily suggest, it's not for the faint of heart, because again, we still had mouths to feed at the time, but we did have enough to say, okay, we can take a chance. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and let you add to that because I see you side-eyeing me right now.
No, I was totally in agreement. You know, the reality is that you just get to a point in life where you realize that you want more for yourself. And you know, one of the things that we also had during the time period when Sylvia was still working was we still had high expectations for Dinobi. We had just recently won this big competition here in Chicago where we had won a Google pitch through the Urban League here in Chicago. Then we went on to win another pitch at University of Chicago, their Polsky Exchange, which is their incubator for entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs, student entrepreneurs. And that came with a little bit of cash. It was so funny because we celebrated that day. Trust and believe.
That was our first, like, wow.
That was the first major.
That was the first major, like, okay, you get some seed money outside of your own cash that you're investing in yourself. So, you know, fast forward though, you know, as you start to get this awareness around your brand and what you're trying to deliver and what you're trying to do, what we recognized real quick was that customers, retail customers, both retail customers, direct to consumer customers, you know, when they see a finished product, they need that finished product to be the best that it can be for them. So if they don't have a great overall experience with the brand, with the product, then that's a problem. And not to mention the scrutiny of being a minority-owned business, you know, there are probably some additional scrutinies that come along with that because people really want to see you successful and they're very invested in seeing you shine. So it's like the critique, it's like we got customers I'm like, are you my customer or are you Big Mama? Which are you? Because you are holding me so accountable. So with that high expectation, so it just made sense after a while. We got to do something a little bit different. If we don't nurture this thing the right way, we'll never get it to where we can be in that David and Goliath situation with some of the bigger brands. We got to cast our stone and shoot it out and see what we can do. So to your point, it was truly, it got to a point where it had to be faith. Because if it wasn't a faith type of situation and if it was all logical, then we probably wouldn't be on a call with you today.
Isn't that something? I know that leap of faith. I've been there before. And you're right. It's not for the faint at heart, especially when you're making a nice piece of change. You know what I mean?
When you're making a nice piece of change, and you've also fully bought into, you know, and we're both college degree folks. We had titles. Sylvia is, you know, part-time box thrower, you know, and she's done internal audit and traveled the world and done all the things. And to be also, you know, thinking about it like later in age doing this stuff, right? That has a whole, from a generational ageism perspective, that has its own set of pressures and feelings that come along with it. But the reality is that, to be honest with you, where we are now and how we function as a family, how we've cut expenses as a family, I mean, it is, anybody could do it. It's just that we're oftentimes bought into these systems and don't really know how to undo that stuff.
That's exactly what it is. And then when you have children, because when I took my leap of faith, I had my children. You know, I wasn't just, okay, Gina's just going to do whatever Gina wants to do. And it does make you think, but you're right. You have to just say, hey, I believe in myself. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to rock out. So prior to you hiring the chemist, did you create a focus group with your family and friends and just, you know, in terms of you knowing? So how was it received?
Actually, it was well received. We tested before we hit the market. We did, first off, we tested on ourselves first because we didn't want to put it on someone or let someone else do it and it blows up or something like that. And then we said, okay, we asked people that we trusted, that we knew very well. Hey, you know, even people with severe skin issues. Hey, are you willing to try this and not like sue us or something, you know, or whatever, you know, are you okay with it? But of course, so I would say since we went through manufacturing, we didn't like reverse engineer anything or create anything at home. What we did was we said, we researched ingredients that we felt we wanted in the formulation that were going to work well together and that would not harm the skin. There were some concoctions that I made myself that I felt like worked really well on myself and the rest of the family. So we were trying to stick kind of close to that. But then, of course, when you start testing, you kind of have to make changes. But we did do a focus group and make sure that it worked before we decided to introduce it to everybody else.
Our thing was always, how do we make it effective? Because at the end of the day, we all babies of bleach. So, you know, we believe in stuff getting clean. Like, I'm not going to just do something because it's a part of a movement. It has a function. And then one thing that we found with our focus groups was people still needed to have some type of effervescence or scent or experience. So then that took us back to the drawing board to figure out, okay, I'm anti-fragrance. So if I use something in, what can I use to get a little bit of that? And then that's when we started to dig into this whole idea of using pure essential oils as a way to just make people feel, give people that extra sense of, like I'm special, or the common lavender. It really does have that effect in your sheets, or just those types of things. But I would actually dial it back. Our first focus group, I put Sylvia on the spot, and Sylvia is like such a boss individual. It's hard to put her on the spot because she might turn around. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I am not.
So but I'm just being honest. Like,
right.
She had been working on this and perfected it so much. I mean, she was so driven on the perfection of this formula. And, we were having our fourth child. And I'm like, man, I'm talking to my buddies. I'm like, how do I get Sylvia to just like talk about this in front of a crowd without getting a response from her that's going to be where she's going to like go through all the details and blah, blah. And they were like, I don't know. So we just decided, hey, let's have a baby shower.
That was my baby shower.
So we have the baby shower. Walks in there, pregnant, beautiful, in her amazing traditional attire. And all of a sudden she gets the floor, and I'm like, well, tell them about what you've been working on. And that was the first actual pitch that Sylvia did to start to enlist folks to support our company.
Look at that. Look at that. That's that love and marriage. You know what I mean? Where both of you feed off of one another.
No. I didn't. No, I was drawn in. Gina, this is truth.
This is every day, Gina. This is.
I am loving the chemistry, and folks are like, we have folks on from New Jersey and Florida. We have funny couple, love their chemistry, good information. Diana King is asking is the detergent offered in sheets?
It is not. The reason being is because we found that most people, two reasons. Most people prefer liquid. So you got to do what most people prefer. The other part is that liquids dissolve better. You tend to have like with the sheets, the pods. You have the little residues and things like that end up, the microplastics and the micro residue and films and things that get into your machine. So we leave your machine clean.
For sure.
Miss King. Yes, we
do. We leaving it clean. Yes, organic. Yes.
and also, like my mom always says, I use Dinobi on everything. And I'm just like, for folks that want to do some multi-use stuff, like honestly, I use it on my sneakers when I want to clean my shoes. Our kids use it in the carpet cleaning machine because it does have a multi-use aspect to it. We don't market that and push that out as much because usually folks look to us to make sure we get those clothes done. But anybody that wants to try it on different things, we always encourage folks to try it on, whatever you feel like it'll be useful with. So that's another reason why we use the liquid.
Well, I definitely agree with that because I did use it on a pair of sneakers on the side, and it was bad. I was like, but that's all that I have really in the cabinet. And I was like, I'm using this, if I could use it for my clothes, and it really cleaned it well. Yeah. So plant-based, that word is thrown around a lot, throughout our lives now. It's like, oh, we have to get clean. I mean, not clean our bodies, but clean and toxin clean and all of this. And then plant-based. So what is plant-based? For those folks who don't know, what is plant-based? What does it mean to be plant-based?
So plant-based is plant-derived, or at the end of the day, it comes directly from a plant. Right. Now, are we in the field of lavender, going and picking it and squeezing it out. No, but at the end of the day, our products all have plant-based derivatives. So for example, there's a coconut derivative, olive derivative, sugar base. What makes it kind of work and go and do its cleaning thing is a sugar base. So we wanted to make sure that we made the product with the level of integrity and clean product or clean ingredients that was higher than normal standards. Our product does meet EU standards, the European Union standards. So as far as, and I will point this out, as far as like chemical names, the only reason that we don't put them on the bottle as of yet is because, yes, we are a trade secret. But yes, we are working on our clean ingredients label. So you guys can have, look forward to that here soon. But yes, plant-based, plant-derived, that means it does indeed come from a plant. Not one of our ingredients, not a smidget of it. No, the whole thing is plant-based. Yes.
Wow. I love it. I have Nelda just rolled in. Now she's in Houston, Texas.
Hey.
I love that product. Yes, I was sharing.
I love H-Town. Hey, you got me excited now, Miss Reynolds.
Miss
Yes,
Reynolds,
ma'am. I miss H-Town.
Miss Reynolds, you about to get me into some straight trouble.
Yes, you are. Because I lived in Houston, Texas, by the way, for like 8 years after college, and I loved it. I loved it. It's a wonderful place.
We've been trying to move back for 8 years.
Really?
Miss Reynolds, I'm gonna come and hide in your house or something because my husband is he's not trying to leave Chicago.
But she reached out to me and asked because I recommended your product, right? Well, actually, I sent her a bottle. Let's just full disclosure because we're all friends here, right? So I ordered a bottle for her, and she uses the really big machine.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the super size.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you don't need a lot.
Right.
Sometimes folks, when they see that soap, they're like, oh yeah, my clothes are getting clean. You know what I mean? When they see the soap, what they don't realize is that no matter how many rinses, there is still residue that's left in the clothing.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I said, listen, I know you use the large washer, but I think with that one, you'll probably need about 3, because that's the super one, the big. Yeah. So she used it. And she called me and she said, oh my goodness, this was amazing. Oh, wow, my clothes are clean. Like she really could, in her mind, she could not conceptualize that capful, the small cap. Gonna do a little.
Right.
The capful, like that was enough. Like maybe just 3 of them for that large machine. And it's more than enough.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And that's, you know what, it's hard to when you have a multi-use product, it's hard to, when you're trying to talk to a customer, most customers want to know about that one thing that's going to solve that one problem that they have. And what we set out to do was try to solve a multitude of problems. Earth Friendly is truly using less when it comes to certain things, as little as you can. And that's part of the reason why, our detergent, we wanted to make sure that it was highly effective, because highly effective means you don't have to use as much. I mean, we've all been raised on, the big gallon, just get the whole thing, and pour it all down, and cascading, and the bubbles everywhere. And the more research we did, the more we realized that, not to disrespect or anything like that, but the truth is that you actually don't need as much as you think, because after a certain point, it's just water and it's not effective when it comes to major brands. And number 2, suds do not equal clean. Sudsing is actually it's just bubbles. For sure. It doesn't clean anything. Actually.
You see why I wanted to have the experts on with me? I did not want to pre-record. I'm telling you, this is a pre-recorded show. And for those of you who are listening on the audio platforms, I truly encourage you to watch on YouTube so that you can see this fantastic couple. It's just, it's nothing short of, I want to say amazing when you can actually see who it is that you are supporting. You know what I'm saying? It makes it it's no different when you work for a company and you're putting in all of your energy, blood, sweat, and tears, maybe doing some overtime, maybe not, you know, but you don't even know who. You never met this person before. You know, but you're putting out all of this effort. So when you can actually, like, I love to be able to put a face to a name, you know, and also I want to say that your customer service is absolutely fantastic. You know, I do not support businesses just to support. And, you know, I know that the both of you, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to say it, that you want to be known as a great brand, not just that you're Black owned. You know, but a great brand, because you are. Nobody's looking at the other Tides and Cheers. Oh, well, who's, you know, this is an Asian brand, or this is an Indian brand. That's not what's happening. It's just that that's the brand. And that's what I hope for the both of you as well, because it's amazing. Let me tell you, even my dentist is on. I said to my dentist, oh, wait a minute, you're supposed to be, he says, I can multitask. It's the show one. He's listening to Talk with Gina. I say to that. He just came in. He's like, hey, I'm on.
That is awesome.
Hey,
and I have folks asking me, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, no, we were just saying that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have folks on who are asking where to buy, so I put it on the screen. And another thing about me, I know that you're also available on Amazon. But one of the things that I like to do, I like to go directly to the site. You know, that's how I support, you know, and some companies don't do their own fulfillment. So they have third parties. But Dinobi does their own fulfillment. So I want you to go to Dinobi and order, you know, sign up for their newsletter. Understand, please, they also have a blog. And I'm telling you some great information on their blog. I'm telling you, I was all in it, honey. I mean, like, when I support, I support.
I gotta pick it up.
Yeah, somebody can tell me about a brand, but I'm checking the ingredients. What about the ingredients? You know, and my daughter, she's in pharmacy. Well, she has a pharmacy background. Let me put it like that. And she said, Mommy, I'm tired of pushing pills. I don't want to do that anymore. Right. And so what I didn't know about certain ingredients, she enlightened me, you know, so the both of us, you know, got on this quest of making sure that the things that we use are devoid of toxins. You know, it's like there's a lot of, you know, in skincare products and in lotions, and they're like, oh yeah, we're all natural, we're organic. And guess what? They have the phenoxyethanol. The phenoxyethanol, that's what they have in there, and that's a preservative. And that preservative has been known to cause cancer, and it's been also known to cause reproductive issues. So everything can be grand and great, but from the time I see that, and I always say, I said, Danielle, can you please phonetically spell that for me? But it's the phenoxyethanol. That's what it's called. Anytime that I see that,
for sure.
You don't, that box is not getting checked. It's getting a big red, and it does, I don't care what you look like, but that doesn't work for me. That doesn't serve me well. But guess what serves me well? Dinobi!
Thank you. Hey, but you know, Gina, one thing we'll say is, you know, Sylvia was getting into more holistic living for us as a family. I wasn't really necessarily bought in because I couldn't understand how to do it in a way that was practical. And that's what we hope to bring to the marketplace, right? So when you think about all of these different ingredients, dioxanes, so like the sodium lauryl, like all of these different chemicals that are now starting to be banned in different places, it shouldn't be so hard for folks to be able to take care of themselves. But you know, for some people that do have the diligence, that are going to make the time, you are going to challenge yourself, prioritize, that is amazing. That's great. You know, those are some of our customers as well, but we also have folks that really want to do it. They just need an easier way to do it. So even though
very true.
So that's just another thing that we like to just let folks know and educate the public on is how do we do this together? How do we do this in a way that is practical too? Because that's important. People have limited time. We are in a time of motion. Especially after COVID, you see things speeding up and ramping up so much. So.
It's so true. And, you know, I'm trying to do my part. And, you know, when I have the show and I said, you know, this show is a conduit for me to be able to reach folks, you know, as well as the other things that I do, and just spread the word and let them know, because I've done the research. I'm a researcher. So, I mean, I can't stop researching. I mean, you know, I'm always digging. I want to know. You know what I mean? And that starts from early, because my parents were like, don't ask me what the answer is if you haven't exhausted all of your possibilities. So we had no other choice. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, let me tell you.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, and there's more in the laundry room.
I had to. Yeah. That's another story.
Dinobi is precious, and I am precious.
Yes, you are. We appreciate you so much. Once again, you are amazing.
So much.
I love it. You know, some folks are asking, where can I purchase? And like I said, please go to Dinobi. It's Dinobi, www.dinobidetergent.com. And you can order. Also, you can visit their IG site, which is at Dinobi_detergent. And their link is in their bio. And you'll be able to take you right there, and you can order. So please, when you can, support directly from a company. Don't use the third parties unless you absolutely have to. You know, let all the money go to them. How about that?
Hey.
All right there. Now, okay. We're going to also talk. I want to talk about the fragrance, because it's not fragrance, everyone. They're essential oils.
Yes.
Correct.
Absolutely.
There's that difference. And, you know, I don't use candles just because of the toxicity that can emit from the wicks, and also from sometimes essential oils. They're not pure essential oils that are used in the candles. So if you have any asthma issues, or even if you don't even have it, you are emitting toxins in the air. So I use a diffuser. So I'm very familiar with the benefits of pure essential oils, because all oils are not essential oils. So that's another thing. You have to really dig, and you have to know what you're using. You know, but Dinobi uses the real deal. Listen, I can only tell y'all how I'm telling you, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We did, to your point, find in our testing, we knew from the get-go we didn't want chemical fragrance. That was a no-no from the beginning, because we knew it was bothering us. So I'm like, it must be bothering somebody else.
Yeah.
And for me, the smell was just too harsh, right? It was just too overpowering. And so, we tested nothing but essential oils, and our lavender, which is the one that you have. Most people prefer lavender, and more people are kind of getting into the other scents. And I'm like, whoa, this is a little more than I expected. So, but yeah, it was important to us to have 100% essential oils, not watered down oils. Not some of it is oil and some of it is apothecary, boom, it's in your face. Because we know that the customer would know that that's not really real. So we wanted to make sure that it was something that did not irritate the skin whatsoever, and that would at least wash off in case someone is possibly allergic to lavender or to clove or something to that effect. It will wash off in the washing machine.
Because I know you added a sensitive. My skin is sensitive, but I can tolerate the lavender, and I'm so glad that I can. But I know that you have a essential oil free one. Yes. You know, and then the citrus and the bergamot. So that's awesome. My dentist, Dr. G, says he can't wait to try the product. I have Kim from Cape Coral, Florida. She just purchased one. So that's awesome. Diana said, thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We truly appreciate the love.
Listen, I appreciate the both of you. Okay. So now we talked about the detergent. And I'm telling you all, just when you didn't think it could get any better, because I didn't think it could get any better. All right, I'm just being honest. This, I don't know how else to be, but to be honest. And this is me. This is just how Gina is, right? Until I tried, and I'm almost finished. So I will be placing my order. This Okay, wait a minute. Let me just.
Isn't it a good product? That is a great. Oh, it's my
Listen, this
it's my
right
favorite.
here.
I can't lie. I'm trying to be humble pie, but that dish soap.
I dish soap.
This dish
I don't care what
soap.
nobody said. Let me tell you, my hands are like Grendel from Middle Earth somewhere. Like, because back in the day,
I love your hands.
my hands used to be cute. They did, but back in the day, you know, like I know, you had parents that said, "Get that bleach." My mom was like, ammonia, clean the bathroom, and this, that, you know, you trying to kill all these germs. The Lysol, not the Lysol with the lemon that y'all smelling now. I'm talking about that hospital Lysol in a little bottle that was shaped like an hourglass.
With no gloves.
No gloves. And so over time, both me and my sisters, like, the hands just got, I guess, I don't want to say damaged, but my skin is definitely not the same. And I found that starting to use more natural products started to help my hands. I also noticed the major brand, and of course, yes, more economically friendly dish soaps. My hands I would walk away just like feeling like I had paper cuts in my hands. That's how sensitive my hands are. And so even with using gloves, if it gets in the glove. So I said, there's got to be a way that we can do dishes without, because I get tired of putting gloves on. And frankly, my kids like to leave my gloves in the sink with the water on, so they're wet on the inside, which is gross. So I said, you know what? We need a dish soap.
Let's go with the dish soap.
We need it to be same high quality standards as our detergent, but still effective, because people, you know, got those dishes now. You got to get those dishes clean, because I'm eating off of that.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
well, y'all did it.
Hey,
let me tell you something. You did it. You did it. Now, I don't use a lot of oil. I don't. Right. But there are some times that I do use my avocado oil.
Oil.
Right. My little, maybe 2 tablespoons, no more than 3 tablespoons. Okay. Well, that's another show. But so I'm washing my pan, right? And I don't use any harsh scrubs, because again, another show, that whole PFAS. So I changed some of my pots that are devoid of the PFAS, which are toxins that are found in your pots that leach into your food.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So here I am now using Dinobi dish soap, right? So there's a little oil on it. So we all know how it is. You know, there's a little slippery, and you know, the hot water, turn on the hot water. Okay. And I put the Dinobi on, and I have my cloth, and I'm washing. And it wasn't too long after that I noticed there's no slip. It's like I'm getting resistance, right? So that means that the soap is working, and then you know, there's no more oil, because that's the key. Nobody wants to wash their dishes in something, you know, where first of all, that the pot was greasy. Yeah. And you finish washing your pot and it's still greasy, right? That's not the goal. The ultimate goal, as we know, is to get rid of that oil. So I'm washing, and the scent is intoxicating. Oh my goodness, when I tell you that, just like Augie said, woo, I mean, intoxicating. I was like, oh. I mean, I felt like if I was in you know, like in a, I don't even know, a patch, like a lemon patch. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it was just, you know, I have a lime tree, and when the flowers bloom on my lime tree, the smell is just, so here it is now. I'm using this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the smell has me. It's tough on grease, and it's luxurious, like the bubbles, the everything. I mean, I don't know what you guys did, but you did it. And I'm using it, and I'm washing my pan, and I'm saying, wait a minute. I'm thinking like some jazz is on, or that's true. And then I said to myself, listen here, y'all are lucky that you don't have to deal with child support on that, because you'd be in trouble. The both of you would be in child support court, because folks would be like, wait a minute. I'm telling you only as I'm telling you. So I'm there watching, and I said, it felt like it was almost 10 minutes I'd been watching the pot, but it was probably more like maybe about 3-5 minutes, but it felt so good on my hands. And I'm just washing the pot, and I was like, Gina, wait a minute, it's a pot, stop it. But it just, I mean, seriously, whatever and however you did it, I have never experienced that in washing dishes.
Oh, wow.
You know, sometimes you guys, okay, the smell is good, and it cuts grease. But I mean, you guys, hands down, you have it all. Like Augie, you said, woo, that's a woo.
Thank you. You know what? We want our brand to not only be, like you said, a Black-owned brand, but a brand that is synonymous with quality, with premium, because we believe that our customers are premium. We believe that we are premium as a people. We believe sharing that with everyone is a must. Everyone should be treated as a consumer. You shouldn't be treated like you didn't work hard for your money, you know? And when someone's throwing chemicals at you that cost a penny, 2 pennies, and they know it's not necessarily the best for you.
Right.
But they know you'll pay it because it fits in the budget.
Right.
Or so-called whatever. That's not something that we wanted to shoot for. We wanted to shoot, make the bar just a little bit higher in terms of quality of product and experience. Nobody wants to wash dishes for real, but if you do wash dishes,
it's an experience. I'm telling you,
an experience.
This is an experience. This is just washing dishes. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys should do a commercial with it where kids are just fighting over the wash dishes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Look, if that pops up, we'll give you your credit. Don't worry.
Seriously. That is awesome.
So, you know, we talked about plant-based and how fabulous the detergent is. Now, what some folks might not know is that there's a statewide ban in New York for an ingredient called dioxone, right? Dioxane. This is what's found in most detergents. Tide, let's just call it out there, Cheer, All. It's in most of them, you know, and even the ones that say free of free of any dyes, free of any fragrance, it's in there.
Yes.
But you know, even though there is that statewide ban that went into effect late last year, right? And so the beginning of this year, everyone had to be on board with making sure that they lessened the amount because what is it? It's 1,4 dioxane that's in it, right? But here's the deal. They just asked these companies to lessen the amount. Now, this dioxane has been known to cause cancer as a carcinogen, right? And the carcinogen is known to cause cancer. It also has runoff for folks who live near plants, chemical plants. It's been found in the drinking water. And but this is the sad thing, because even though a ban has been issued, the ban has been issued on high amounts. Folks really need to understand what's going on, because it's not, they're still in there. You just have to, they just require them to lower the amounts. But still, if you're washing your clothes, maybe 3-4 times a week, come on.
Come on.
It's still getting in your skin. And our skin is the biggest organ. So, and that's whatever goes onto our skin, absorbed in our skin, that reaches our bloodstream even faster. You see? So if they're lowering the amount, but you're still using a product that's known to have a carcinogen. And so that's how it needs to be looked at, because I was excited too. I was like, whoa, you know, there's a ban. Finally, they're paying attention. But then I looked and I said, look at this. The EPA is just like, listen here, just lower the amount. You know what I mean? Just lower the amount. When we really look at it, they're not your friend. Because it's the same thing with the foods that we eat. They're not your friend. You know, and you have to be aware of what's going on.
Absolutely.
It's a cheap man-made synthetic.
It is.
And it goes back to what Gina brought up earlier, which was the mention of a lot of times people think that they need so much detergent, but that was actually a marketing ploy that kicked off, I want to say maybe like 60s, 70s, where literally they decided, oh, people want to feel like they're clean, so they need more liquid. Chemists, any chemist, and a lot of folks don't have, like, they don't talk to organic chemists every day, or they don't talk to regular chemists every day that can educate them and say, hey, you know, past a certain percentage, right? Past a certain amount in your washing machine, the product doesn't actually get more effective. There are just additives and those types of things that make it up. So to add insult to injury, this is literally one of those synthetic, preservative, man-made things that's also just an additive that isn't even really truly needed. Our product is dioxane free, and we again tried to find ways to make it work. Now again, we're definitely not going to be a gain or an ALL price point, but there is a specific reason behind that.
I mean, there's usually. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sylvia. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the dioxane is kind of used as a stabilizer to some sort of effect. Kind of keeps things together. But there is a way to do it in a product without using a carcinogen, which is why our product is the way it is. Now, again, does that mean it's a little harder to make? Sure. Does that mean it costs a little bit more? Sure. However, it's not just because we want to, charge more. It's just because, okay, these things cost this and that's just it, right? But at the end of the day, it's not really about the cost. I mean, how much does it cost to deal with, something, like a cancer or, medical bills or something to that effect, all to find out is some of the products you're using and some of the food you're eating.
I mean, that's really real. And it's so very true. And that's why I say I feel the same way. When I mentioned that that ingredient, the phenoxyethanol, is the same thing. Is it needed? It's a preservative. So why do some companies, why don't they have it in their ingredients? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. That was really a rhetorical question. It's not necessary to have it in, but it's just that people have gotten comfortable. It's no different than where, sugar is in everything.
Yes.
Like every time sugar is in everything, right?
It's in water now.
So I came across this,
right.
The scientist that was talking about, well, the reason why it's in everything is because fat has been extracted from a lot of the foods. So when you extract the fat, now you leave it, now the foods are bland.
Yeah.
So now what do you do to make up the extraction of fat? You add sugar.
Right.
So all of this unnecessary stuff to keep us sick, because the business is larger. There's more business when people are sick, rather than, okay, let's all try to be as healthy as possible. There's really no money in being as healthy as possible, just like there really isn't that much money in going the holistic route, so they keep us in a certain bracket. But I just feel that if you know better, you do better. Okay, fine. It might not be, might not cost like a cost of the other ones out there. However, this detergent right here is highly concentrated. So you can get 32 loads out of this one. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? And all the while, you're keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one less toxin that's being absorbed into your skin, because a lot of folks don't realize that you start sweating and whatever's in your clothes is right in your skin, right in your skin, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And some of it, just to add to your point, there is a little educational re-engineering that we have to do, which does make it a little bit harder, because we've been trained for, you're talking about detergent companies in particular and food companies. They've been in business for over 150 years. You're talking about 100+ years of social engineering that you have to kind of undo, and trying to pioneer in the plant-based space and without giving in a little bit. It's no easy feat.
No, it's not.
But I think as customers like yourselves continue to demand a higher quality product, demand something better, I think the tide will turn. No pun intended.
Right.
I think the tide will turn. I think it is turning.
It is turning.
Slowly but surely, So
That's
some of it is kind of we might not be able to. We have to kind of get out of our comfort zone just a little bit for a little while to benefit a lot later on. Yeah,
I like it. So how are the both of you spreading the message into the communities where you are? What are you doing? We have a few more minutes. We have like a couple of minutes.
Oh,
yeah. Well, you know what? We always look for different approaches. We of course do some social media stuff, but we like to take some side doors too, right? One of the side doors that we're doing over the next 6 months, starting at the top of May, we're going to be doing a laundromat pop-up shop. So basically, it's if you're in Chicago, in the Hyde Park community, which is close to University of Chicago or Barack Obama's old place or current place, we've got an entire laundromat that we're going to use as a teaching space to really allow people to come in and just rock out around just feeling good, taking care of themselves, giving them a premium experience. We also go around and talk to a lot of different groups, nonprofits, young people, just trying to push back against what you just described earlier in the call, which was passive engagement. So that means I go to the store, I just purchase, whether it's because grandma was doing it, I just do it. This automated kind of complex around how we purchase goods, we've got to do a little bit better as a full society to start to critique it. I was buying certain products for years and never turned the bottle around and look at ingredients. So now we're starting to see people do that. But then do you even know who creates it? Do you know what they put into it? Do you know their story, their interest, or modus operandi? Who is that founder that creates this product that you're just buying off the shelf? So we really try to make ourselves very accessible. We are looking to be connected to people that like yourself, that are podcasters, that are amazing spokespeople for just dope experiences, so that we can continue to spread the message and educate our customers about what we're doing. Anything else?
No, I mean, I think you hit all the points. I mean, social media, newsletters that Gina said I need to hurry up and do some more.
I didn't say that. Your blogs are good. I like them.
Thank you. The blogs that I need to do another one. Radio. We love radio. We are working on a podcast. We've got a few episodes that we have not released yet.
But we are Comcast Network commercial.
Yes, we have a Comcast TV. It's showing right now in the Chicagoland area, but we're hoping to expand that over the next couple months. We're hitting everybody's airwaves, phone waves, and everything else.
Listen, Sylvia and Augie Emuwa, let me tell you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Or please, www.dinobidetergent.com, and please check them out on IG, which is Dinobi_detergent. You guys have been absolutely great. I know that you heard my theme song, Mad Love, because I pride myself on just bringing out that mad love. Folks like yourself sharing your journey, and then the listeners, they show mad love by sharing and just being engaged. And I appreciate all of you. So before I let you go, you guys got a little dance with me a little bit. Okay, from Chi-Town to New York. We're gonna do a little dance, a little mad love. Come on now.
I love that song. Oh God, it's so bright and brilliant.
To the B, to the E, show love. If you don't show
So love. Thank you so very much to both of you. You know, continue taking care of that beautiful family. Please continue developing some great products such as this. I mean, let me tell you something, don't get any better. I'm telling all of you, please get this dish detergent. It is amazing. Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you for taking out the time. I know that both of you are very busy. It was my absolute pleasure to have you on, and I'm super grateful that you agreed. Okay.
Thank you again for making time for us. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye now. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Augie?
I was just saying thank you for the support. I thank everybody who's trying us out. We hope that you have a great experience. And we will be in touch for sure.
Oh, awesome. Yes, we will. Take care to both of you. Okay, now. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. This was a fantastic conversation. Please play it back if there was anything that you missed. Tomorrow, we have another fantastic show coming up. I have Rubens Amidi, and he is from Papa Rosier. So, you know, listen, join me tomorrow. I'll be here. Oh, let's go out and get on a little bit of mad love because I'm excited about today. Thank you, all of you for joining. I also want to thank my sponsor, PPI Security, specializing in city, state, and government contracts. I appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. Come on again. We're going out one more time with a little bit of mad love. You all know how I do it. Here we go. Hey!